All right, so section 8.5 is called the remainder and factor theorem. So you're going to see two types of problems. The first one is going to say something like use synthetic division to find P of C. But you don't even have to use synthetic division, which is, oh, I forgot to write the word division. You don't even have to use synthetic division, which makes you wonder why they put it in the directions, okay? But they're going to give you an equation, something like this one right here, x to the fourth minus 14x squared plus 5x minus 3. Then they're going to give you a number to plug in. So they're either going to say when you have P of -4, so you would plug in that number, or they might say C is equal to -4. So it just depends on the question how they're going to give you the number. Or they might say when x plus 4, which means you would set it equal to 0, subtract 4, and you'd get the -4. Okay, so if they give it to you as like a algebraic expression, set it equal to 0 and solve, which most of you have figured out by now. It's just the opposite of whatever that number is. Unless there's a coefficient, then it's going to be a fraction. Okay, so even though the directions say to use synthetic division, you're not actually going to do that. All you're going to do is substitute the number in, okay? And from there, the main thing you need to pay attention to is just order of operations. All right, so you're going to take that -4 and plug it in everywhere you see an x. So you're going to have P of -4 is going to be equal to -4 to the fourth power minus 14 times -4 to the second power plus 5 times -4 minus 3. Okay, so when you're following order of operations and you go to simplify, I would just simplify each term and then go back and add or subtract them. Okay, so if you type into your calculator -4 to the fourth power, make sure you use parentheses around -4, right? Because order of operations, you would need to use parentheses. Otherwise, it's going to square it first and then take the opposite and give you a negative number. When you should get positive 256, it would actually give you negative 256. So make sure you use parentheses. And then minus 14 times -4 to the second power, you want to make sure you do the exponent first, then multiply it by -14. You should get minus 224. Then when you multiply 5 times -4, you should get minus 20, minus 3. Okay? Now everything's simplified except for the adding and subtracting. So just type it in your calculator, punch it in, hit the equal sign. You should get 9. Okay? So just substitute it in. Make sure you follow order of operations even when you're punching it in your calculator. Okay? Any questions on example number 1? All right, example number 2. Example number 2, the directions are going to say something like determine whether x plus 1 is a factor of P of x, and it's going to give you this equation, x to the 12th minus 3x to the 8th minus 4x minus 2. Okay, so the answer to this is either going to be yes, it is, or no, it's not. Okay? And you're going to do the same thing you did in example number 1. You're going to substitute in, bless you. You're going to substitute in, make sure you follow order of operations. Now, if it gives you it like this, you set it equal to 0, subtract 1. So you're going to use -1. That's what you're going to plug in. Unless they give you, you know, like up here, P of -4 or C equals -4, whatever. Okay? So here we go. We're going to plug in -1 every time we see x. So we're going to have -1 to the 12th power minus 3 times -1 to the 8th power minus 4 times -1 minus 2. And then just pay attention to your order of operations. Okay? -1 to the 12th power happens to be +1. If you type that into your calculator wrong, you're going to get -1. Okay, so make sure you're typing it into your calculator the correct way. For the second term, -1 to the 8th power times -3, you should get -3. Third term, -4 times -1, you should get +4. And then -2. From left to right, you just add and subtract in order. You should get 0. If you get an answer of 0, you say, yes, it is a factor. If you get any other number, guess what you say? No. Okay? So the answer of 0 you like. Any other positive or negative number, you say no, it's not a factor. Okay? Any questions on example number 2? And believe it or not, we are done. Okay?